Hey everybody, it's me, Miss Lydia, and I have a really special episode planned for you today that's all about the water cycle. You may already know about the water cycle from school. I think it's really cool. Water collects in rivers, lakes, groundwater, and the ocean before evaporating into the atmosphere, condensing as clouds, and finally falling as precipitation. Precipitation is when water falls out of the sky. It can be rain, snow, mist, sleet, or even hail. Once it falls back down to Earth, the process starts all over again, which is why it's called a cycle. It goes around and around. I made a really cool experiment that you can do at home to observe your own water cycle. Want to see? First, I saved the plastic container from a package of salad mix. You can use all kinds of things to make this model, but this is perfect because I can see everything that's going on. Then I took some dirt, moss, and plants to create a landmass. Make sure you get permission, though, before you dig up any holes in your yard. I also used some shiny pieces of glass as decorative objects. You don't have to do that. I just wanted to. Then I put some water in the bottom of the container. That's my ocean. Now, in the real water cycle, the sun is the power source. So to simulate the energy of the sun, I've put a heating pad under my container to warm the water and make it evaporate faster. You don't have to do this, but it can help. Then I put the lid back on my container, and now I can watch the water cycle happen right before my eyes. Right away, the lid of my container starts to fog up as evaporated water droplets condense on it. That's because the atmosphere inside of my model is so much warmer than the outside. So as that warm air touches the cool lid, the air molecules get squished together, kind of like a sponge, squeezing out the evaporated water droplets so that they stick to the lid. They stay there because they're too small to fall back down to the ground. The fog that you see on the lid is basically an itty-bitty baby cloud. Kawaii! Now I'm going to speed up the video so that you can see how these droplets begin to grow. In real life, this actually took me several hours, but you can watch it happen in just a few minutes. As the water continues to evaporate from my teeny tiny ocean, more and more water droplets are carried up to my teeny tiny cloud, where they condense. As it gets more crowded in my cloud, the droplets join together, forming larger droplets and larger droplets and larger droplets, until they're eventually so heavy that they can't stay suspended any longer. When the water droplets become water drops, they start to fall back down to Earth. It's precipitation. It's raining inside of my tiny water cycle. How cool! If you make a water cycle model of your own, I'd love to see it. Tell me what you used to make it and what you observed. Do you think having a large landmass and a small body of water will change how your water cycle works? What if you put a cold ice pack on the lid of your model? Would that change the outcome? What happens if you don't put any extra water in your model at all and just use soil and plants? Do you still observe condensation? Let me know what you learn. Send me pictures. I want to see it. Before I go, I want to give a shout out to Leanna, who correctly guessed that last week's mystery animal was a honeybee. Way to go, Leanna. I really thought I would have had you stumped with that one, but you were as clever as always. This week's mystery animal is a tough one. It's the world's largest land mammal, but even though it's the biggest mammal on land, it walks on its tiptoes. Do you know what it is? If you do, leave me a comment with your name, and I'll give you a shout out in my next episode. I can't wait to see you again. Until then, later, taters!